What's up, guys? Today we are working on not one, but two 1980 Yamaha QT50s. These bikes look to be in great shape, and at least that's what I thought when I bought them a little bit ago, but they have one huge problem. If you look extremely closely, that gas has all kinds of small little particles from rust inside of the gas tanks. So today we're going to go ahead and try to address this and get these things fixed. First things first, we're going to go ahead and take out all of this bad gas. This stuff is pretty much just black from all the rust. Once we have all the gas removed, we're going to go ahead and start the disassemble. It's actually really nice to work on a bike that the frame isn't an in-frame tank. And then I can actually remove this and bring it to a little bit warmer area so I can get a better cure when I add my chemical solution. Because as you can tell by my attire, it's like 20 degrees out in the shop right now. So I brought the tanks inside so they can stay at a nice room temperature and added my solution. And luckily, I had a cat to give me a hand, even though that this was a zero cats requirement job. Alright, so honestly, like a month and a half went by before I actually pulled these tanks, because they were that bad. And I've already learned my lesson because this is the second or third time that I've done this, so I'm adding bolts, washers, nuts, whatever I can get in these tanks to then shake up and try to get any of that extra rust off of there. And finally, these tanks actually look better. These were awful condition when I started. So it's time to go ahead, reinstall these tanks. That way we can move forwards with these projects. Now that these tanks are finally correct, we can actually clean these carburetors and do it right. You'll notice all of this little micro rust dust just ruining the carburetor. After both of them got cleaned, I ended up rebuilding both of them with brand new carburetor rebuild kits. Next, we can install brand new petcocks to this, and we don't have to worry about them getting ruined or clogged up with all that rust. Now it's actually starting to get exciting too, because we're going to go ahead, install these carburetors, and see if we can't get these bikes running. Adding some fresh gas that has zero rust inside, and also replenishing that two-stroke oil. Before trying to get these running, I wanted to make sure that I purged any air from the oil pump. And as you can see, whatever oil is in there is coming out pretty dark. So with that, I just want to check for any leaks, and we're good to try to actually start this bike up.
Oil is not... That's good, these don't need oil.
So that bike that I just got running, I've never seen run before. This bike, however, I had running last year. So I wasn't too worried about getting this one started. However, I should have been. See, for a second there, I thought I figured it out. I thought that my float needle was too high and not allowing gas, and when I tapped it in, it looked like the gas was going in. To confirm, I looked at the bottom of the bowl, and gas was flowing out. So with that, having gas inside, I tried to get it running one more time. Taking a look at our spark plugs, I noticed that the original one and the one I currently have are two different plugs. So what I did is I took the plug from the running bike and I put it back into this one. Still with no luck at all. So I got desperate and decided to check for spark. First, I noticed that there wasn't spark at all. But when you look real close, you'll actually notice I do have spark. It's just incredibly weak. So this ended up turning into something a little new to me. So much so that I actually had to order a puller to get this flywheel off. And when I did, I ordered two of them so I could give away one in this video. All you have to do is comment down below the word Yamaha and that'll enter you to win this puller. I ended up doing a bunch of research online and there's a common Yamaha QT50 problem. This white coil is the charge coil, which does have a specific ohm reading. And I actually made an entire video on how to do this repair that you can check out at the top right of your screen right now if you're interested. I even got to add a new tool to my toolbox. I ended up having to pick up a soldering iron for this job. Test it. And looking at the QT50 manual, you'll actually see that our charging coil should be around 295 ohms plus or minus 10%, which that gives us a range of 325 to 265 ohms. And looking at our current one, you can actually see that we're more closer to the 17 to 20% loss instead of that 10%, which pretty much makes that one junk. Now it's time to finally start putting this charging coil on. This was definitely a bit of a confidence booster, being able to do this first try. I even ended up getting some love from the community. Shout out my dude Colby for sending me a brand new used stator that was off of a running bike, just in case I wasn't able to fix this coil. Really appreciate you, bro. Love it when the community rallies. So with that, we're good to go ahead and put everything back to the way we found it. Making sure to reconnect all of our wires. And when I tested for spark, there it is. It looks great, night and day difference. And all that's left to do is to see if this bike runs again. Now that we got both bikes running, it's time to do a few more repairs, like replacing this oil, which I'm super glad I did. It's just a good thing to do in general, but look at how nasty and milky this oil looks. This stuff is disgusting. Also made a video on how to do an oil change on one of these bikes, and if you're curious, top right of your screen, that video will show you. Next, this was actually really giving me a lot of trouble, getting this rear wheel off. I noticed that this bike seemed to not have a rear brake at all. I put penetrating oil on this wheel pretty much daily and every day checked to see if I could get it off. And finally being able to inspect it inside, I'm not surprised that this bike was not able to brake. The pads are completely broken. So when I took this off and started to replace it, I made sure to clean off all that brake dust. That way we have no issues with sliding brakes. And looking in the drum, I noticed that it was super bad. In my experience, I've only ever seen these a little bit smooth and shiny, so I don't know if this is really going to cause it to not break, but I'm going to clean the surface up and make it a little easier for those pads to slide instead of just grabbing and really grabbing, maybe a little too hard. Making sure to, again, clean out any of that brake dust. That way we don't do any slide-in and that we just brake. And all that's left to do before taking these for their first test ride is cleaning them up a little bit. You know I can't be seen riding a dirty ped. This is probably a good time to use as a reminder, even though some bikes look really nice before buying, ultimately a lot of things go poorly and cause you to have a lot of frustration. Just like the rust in the tank. These things looked so good when I initially bought them, but I overlooked the tank and had way too much confidence and realized way too late that these needed a lot more work than I originally thought. So right away on this first ride, everything seemed to be great. However, right away I noticed one thing that I was not going to be able to ignore. So it was back to the table with another diagnostic. It sounded just like the speedometer was screaming at me. So I looked to see if we could take it apart and how it came apart, and it was actually really simple. I'm going to go ahead and use this multi-purpose oil and pretty much just try to lube every moving part in this and see if we can't get a better result. And adding a little lubricant actually seemed to do the trick. So there was only one last thing to do, and that was take these out together as a couple and enjoy the his and hers Yamaha QT50s that we have recently refurbished. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I love refurbishing bikes and I love doing 2 of them at a time. It makes it really easy. If you guys like QT50s, make sure to leave a like down below, and also don't forget to join the giveaway by commenting Yamaha. Really appreciate it, guys, and as always, ride safe.